So then, if I'm hearing correctly, if you were to talk to business leaders today and sort of cut to the chase of what is it that we've learned from, technical and design thinking, what is it that they need to take from that and apply to their own problem solving or to their businesses? What's at the core? Is it the problem? Is it the target audience? Is it what's the key?
So I would say there's sort of two ways to answer that question. The first is the way that design thinking is sort of tightly defined, and that is around creating a customer-focused organization. There's literature that goes back, in fact, I've done research in this space as well. There's literature that goes back that looks at failure modes of new products in the marketplace. And the number one reason for the failure of new products, and this has been true at least as far back as the 1970s, if not before, where people have done research actually studying failed and successful products. And the primary failure mode is lack of understanding of customer and user needs. So this is not a new problem, and arguably we've just never really figured out how you embed customer focus deeply in an organization. Most organizations today make their decisions on the basis of numbers that sometimes have nothing to do with whether or not they're satisfying their customers. How do we increase market share? How do we reduce costs? These are all things that don't have to have a direct link. They might, but they don't have to have a direct link to end customer satisfaction and therefore end customer loyalty and therefore ultimately growth of the organization. So the number one question is how do you anchor your organization in doing things to satisfy customers? The second piece that I think is really important that most design thinking literature doesn't really talk about is that what is the right frame for this problem I'm trying to solve? So how do I get to why? So I can be very customer focused and only understand things like I'd rather have a pink version of that than a purple version. That's a very feature focused attitude, if you will. What I really want to get to is what I call meaning-based needs. What are the outcomes that customers are trying to achieve, and what's standing in the way of them achieving those outcomes? So Huggies Pull-Ups came about not because I was re-engineering the tabs on the diapers, but because I understood that parents were nervous about toilet training. Like they want to be a good parent, and they're not really sure how to attack this first big hurdle that kids go through. That's a meaning-based need. So I think the second important thing, again, not called out in the design thinking literature very well, but is how do I get to that meaning-based understanding, right? The third thing is this notion of getting wide before getting narrow. So now I've got that frame. Parents need help with toilet training, right? What are all the ways I could help them? Is it a different diaper design? Is it training for parents? Is it a community for parents to belong? Like I can think wide before I narrow in. So that's sort of the third key precept in the design thinking. And then the last one is, as you're trying to converge, don't try to do all of it in your own head. Take the ideas back out to the community and test or experiment with them, right? So that's one frame for design thinking.